Alright, well, it was kind of a crazy night last night. We had a whole slew of Q drops, and they didn't start until late and strewed out across about 4 hours, so I didn't fully collect them until this morning. I'm going to attach them at the bottom of the comments so you'll see them. Please note a couple of things. First of all, what I attach will also include a couple of anonymous comments related to the adjacent Q drop, and they will indicate that they are anonymous, not from Q. I thought that they were of interest. And secondly, there are places where there are brackets and I have to take all the brackets out. I think I'll put dashes on either side where the brackets were. YouTube will not let me use brackets or the little arrow marks, either the curved brackets or the squared brackets. So it does have some significance with this. So the first one we got was 696. It goes ha 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 9 times. Next week in brackets, and then ha 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 again. We warned you, you are stupid, can you sleep, we can help. Most of the folks on 8chan and elsewhere have considered this some kind of monumental event that will go on next week. Some people try to attribute some kind of significance to the ha ha ha's. It is notable that this the number of this drop was 319888, and I'm not a big numerology guy, but apparently Q is, because that one was that number, and then there was one 321555, and I think there's one other that has triple numbers at the end of it. So either it is highly fortuitous or it is planned. And since Q tells us to watch out for coincidence, I'd say it's not a coincidence. So there is the second one, again, this is 697, says next week in brackets, next week in brackets, next week in brackets, suicide weekend question mark Q. So I am taking this to mean that there are at least 3 or 4 major events that are going to happen this next week. And in some indications in the past, Q has put things in brackets basically as a kill zone, as a place where people die, in the crosshairs, which is why I used the symbol on the cover last time, and I think I probably will this time. So the next one is, this is 698, top 10 player here now, and this picture shows a plane in a foggy runway at a large airport. There is an IP address, and one of the folks on 8chan coordinated the IP address and says that it is next to Dulles International Airport. It's hard to determine, and I don't know. I know people were looking all over the world for a foggy or smoggy runway at the right time. And the Q quote says top 10 player brackets here now, and then puts the IP address. So the question then, what is it? There are a number of people talking about the fact that what kind of plane this is. I thought perhaps it was the KLM Royal Dutch plane, which would have attached it to the conference that was held between the Dutch king and Wilhelm and his wife and the Chinese premier. So, and there's a conference there. 700 says is basically a rest in peace, Mr. President JFK. Through your wisdom and strength since your tragic death, patriots have planned, installed, and by the grace of God, activated the beam of light. We will forever remember your sacrifice. May you look down from above and continue to guide us as we ring the bell of freedom and destroy those who wish to sacrifice our children, our way of life, and our world, we the people. prayer said every single day in the eternity, I think 2 zeros, JFK dash secret societies. Where we go one, we go all. Now, everybody noted the next 3 drops, one of them is just an E in brackets, the next one is a 5 in brackets, the next one is a minus in brackets. And wise folks noted that the secret societies part of the JFK societies, secret societies, is missing an E. And there are a bunch of references to E right after that. It's the 5th letter, it is a small E, it is, there's a minus with it, which I take to mean that something's being taken out. It happens to be the 5th letter of it. There's no mistake to it, I don't think. There are references in the DOJ and in the FBI, and this struck page thing talked about a secret society and meeting offline. I would link the two. I would link the secret societies part of that with the struck page information. I would take the 5 and the E and perhaps even attach that to the fact that the E is missing and the E relates to somebody that's in the secret society. I can't link exactly, and I could not find any reference to who exactly would be in the secret society, but I think it is meaningful. The next picture shows basically a hanger with a big flag with an E on it, and again, I take that to mean it is significant. So the next picture is a picture taken from the Gems Tower in Bangkok, Thailand. It is in the next drop. There are some high rises, and there is also a low rise building which has a banner on it called Assumption College, and it is in Thailand. The significant information about this, I think, is this is an issue related to the Assumption College, and let me tell you what. There are a whole bunch of things that tie into other stuff that the Q has posted. It is a Roman Catholic affiliated college. It is not really a college in the true sense of the word, because it deals with primary grades 1 through 6 and secondary grades 1 through 6. So it is a K through 12 or 1 through 12. It is all boys. It is attached perhaps to another Assumption College in Massachusetts, and it has over 3,000 kids in it. So they teach multiple languages. It would probably be Thai kids. Are they Thai exclusive kids or Thai adoptive kids or Thai stragglers? You know, who knows? But apparently it has some significance. The next posting is 706. It is JFK conference room, and then there is a linkage to CIA government kids games, and the translation is the Central Intelligence Agency. Would you believe this site is actually used to comm to rogue operators? So in other words, they're using a kid site to communicate with rogue operators. Next, at Snowden. Next, John, in brackets, most of them treated as John Brennan, and cold question mark. So in other words, is it shut down? Is it laid back? So next one is 707. Clown Black Ops sites Asia goodbye. So a lot of this stuff related to Thailand and elsewhere could well be that they're shutting down some Asia sites. And there is a comment about the CIA being involved in China's rise. The New World Order envisions China as a connected part of it. Who really runs North Korea has been an ongoing theme, and then followed by who really runs it, which is it China? Is it the CIA? Is it the deep state? Is it the shadow government? And I think all of those are operable. So the next one is 708. I'm moving quickly here. Follow if you like at the bottom. 708, thank you Dopey, King Dupon, eyes on Q. And there are several comments that Dopey, that is Prince Aloid, was released in part to have him chase around and give clues as to what linkages he has. And apparently he did. King Dupon is you're in the scope and perhaps more. The next one is 709, which says, you will cease to exist, truth to power. How's the bunker these days? And basically people are hunkering down. The brackets, the next set of brackets has a 14 on it, live, indicating that some are not live. I think it's interesting to note that there were 19 in brackets on another one. And hello in brackets, I don't know what that means except for just a pay attention. And then PEOC, force failed. PEOC is the Presidential Emergency Operations Center, and basically most of the folks think, and I think so too, that there was some attempt to either shut down or disable or perhaps damage the Presidential Emergency Operations Center, which is deep in the bowels under the White House. And apparently whatever went about it, maybe even to disable the communications from it, failed. So the next one is 710. Seals are wonderful creatures. We're talking about Navy SEALs here. Heard they work fast at capturing their prey, P-R-E-Y, capitals P-R-A-Y. Silence is golden, and the next point is Corona offline, D-E-A-C, 4 zeros in a bracket. Games are fun, Q, and I took this to mean, you know, first of all, that it is SEALs that are deployed in Asia. There are apparently several detachments of SEAL platoons and 2 SBU rigid hull inflatable boat detachments. So there are a variety of sources there. The Corona offline is I think, and there were previous references to this, is the American Strategic Reconnaissance Satellite System, which is operated by guess who? The CIA, Directorate of Science and Technology. Of course, it's a perfectly innocent little bunch, right? So apparently some parts of it are down, and perhaps more of it. The satellites were used for photographic surveillance of Soviet Russia and the People's Republic of China. They claim that it's down, but it's actually probably, and several notations have been, it's still on. Number 711, mess with the best, die like the rest, and that's a Marine quote. 2 highly classified clown ops exposed. You know, I don't know, who are they? Nobody seems to know. And then there's in brackets 44 remaining. Wizards and warlocks save the best for last. P in brackets. So most of the folks looking at this either see this as 44, which is, I think, less likely. Thailand connection. It's an interim constitutional adjustment, and the P would be the Thailand Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha, which is possible. It is also probably more likely that 44 in brackets is President number 44, which I'm sure all of you know as Mr. Hussein Obama. So 712 is a globalleaks.org. It's just simply a connection. Global Leaks is an open source free software intended to enable secure and anonymous whistleblowing initiatives. And again, it's like a couple others we have noted. You know, I think the logical question is it in fact open source and anonymous? And it says for whistleblowing activities, oftentimes these so-called whistleblowing sites are in fact run by NSA or CIA or others, which actually disables the whistleblower. So 713, and there's no indication here which it means. 713 is is the Google CIA map, and it relates to an exclusive which was announced in 2010, that Google and the CIA are investing in the future of web monitoring. So there were comments that the CIA needed to have a separate source of its own and was using Google to do that. The question, of course, many have had is how well linked are Google and the CIA, and it's pretty extensive. So finally, there is 714, and basically the subject matter of this is public FBI/DOJ/OWH/SD private clowns expand your thinking. And so you know, some of these are obvious. FBI, DOJ, White House is Obama White House. SD, most people have taken to be the State Department. So it is this whole cabal of folks in the dark state working on the as part of the government. And expand your thinking, I suppose, is to broaden even wider some of the private parties, former FBI, DOJ, White House, and State Department, but also some others that are tied in with them as well. So that's the posting for today. I mean, there are people obviously who say, well, this Q stuff is all malarkey and you guys are just following it. It is a distraction. It is a psyop, etc. And you know, that is still a possibility. There's no question about it. So I'm not living day and night basing my entire life on Q. And as a matter of fact, I say to people, hey, look, we've got to move ahead. We've got to awaken no matter what. Let's use this as an opportunity to do so. But more than that, let me use one of Ronald Reagan's statements, which is trust but verify. And in this case, I give some credence to this. There are others that give credence to it. But beyond that, it is our duty to verify. Even this source, it is our duty to verify and to see that some of these things are actually happening. And they're happening, as Q says, future news proves past, news proves and ties together. So to the extent that there is predictability to the process, we certainly gain credence in the process itself of the whole Q deal. So this is longer than usual. There was a lot of stuff in it. I spent hours working backward and forward trying to connect all the dots. So thank you so much for watching. I love your comments. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe if you like it. I'm going to keep working on this. And ding the little bell and stay in touch. Thanks so much. Really, truly do appreciate it.